Good, right, so question number 3. Now, first thing to say about question 3 is it is the same as language paper 1, question 2. Okay, so I'm going to put up here, paper 1, question 2. It's exactly the same question. You now need to refer only to source B, lines 8 to 10. So we'll always give you specific things. If you do not quote from those lines, if you quote from line 7 or 19, you will get no marks. Okay? Part of the exam is knowing what you have to write about. Lines 8 to 18. How does the writer use language? Remember, language is the word choices, individual word choices, or phrases. So sometimes it's a word on its own, sometimes it's a short phrase, or imagery, metaphors, simile, personification. You can, if you want to, you could do semantic fields. So a semantic field is a group of words that have a similar feeling. So minimum 3 words, you can do a semantic field if you want to. But we're looking about the way that the writer has used words, right? The choice of words. So how does the choice of words create effects? Okay? How does the writer use language to describe her first experience of cycling? I'll come. So this answer, we want 1 paragraph. Okay? The key thing to this answer is we're looking for detailed effects. Now what that means is we are looking for multi-layers all the way through. So we want to begin with an argument or a point. Now the idea is we want to answer this question very clearly, but in a way that shows deeper knowledge. So for example, we wouldn't just say she found her first experience of cycling to be scary. That might get you level 3 because it's clear, but it's not perceptive. Okay? To be perceptive is to understand there are multiple ways you can answer any question. So you might say the writer uses language to describe her first experience of cycling as very scary, but also very exciting, right? Or maybe, if you're really good, you can do 3. You might say as scary, exciting, but also something that will change her life forever. Okay? So you want to try at multi-layers. That means 2 or 3 ideas. The idea then afterwards is you want to try and pick one technique for each part of your point. So if I'm saying it's scary and exciting, I want one technique that shows it's scary, one that shows it's exciting, and then a third one that can either do either of the other 2. So maybe 2 that are scary, 1 exciting, or 2 exciting, 1 scary. Or if I've got 3 ideas, I might do 1 from each. Okay? Remember, the marks come for the effects. So you want to choose your technique, choose your word or your quote or your image. You want to explain what it shows, what it emphasizes, and you want to do multiple effects. Now again, you don't have to do it for every quote, but you must do it at least once or twice. Okay? The more that you write, the better you will do. This is the question people do best at. There's no reason you can't get 12 out of 12 on this. Okay? In terms of the way we write this, please remember, the argument goes like this. So, again, you can write this if you want to. In source B, the writer. Now you don't need to write the writer uses language, because you don't need to do that. What I would do is this. The writer describes her, use the exact wording, first experiences of cycling, okay, as. Now I want us to be really clear. Now again, multiple layers. So as this, but also this, right? You've got to try and find two things he feels about it, okay? Then we go into our points. So you would go, again, firstly, the writer uses. Now again, at this point you can decide what they've done. So maybe they've used the word, quote it. Maybe they've used the phrase, quote it. Maybe they've used the metaphor. Let's say it's a metaphor, right? So the writer uses the metaphor. Okay. or the word or whatever, quote it. Okay, do the quote. To emphasize. Right? Now remember, that's the word we want, right? Emphasize. We can also use highlight. We can use foreground. So any word which kind of means like making something seem bigger and clearer. We can also use words like exaggerate is good. Okay, but we want to make sure the verb is active, right? So we're saying the writer deliberately is doing it, right? They deliberately used this word to make me imagine something, right? They deliberately used this metaphor to help me think about something, okay? My advice would be when you're choosing your techniques, the way that these exams are made is that there will always be metaphors and similes, always. Examiners are taught to look out for those in your answers. So this is not about trying to find the stuff that no one else is saying. It's about finding the really obvious things and writing about them really well. Okay? So the writer uses this to do this, then explain to me how, and if you can, try and give me another effect. So you might go, this also emphasizes, and you can build on a secondary effect. Okay? If you give me a point, techniques and effects, that will get you into level 3. Okay? If you can give me multiple point, multiple effects, that may get you into level 4.